Hi, it's me, Young Today I want to discuss white saviorism. Many Korean adoptees are adopted by white families. The first question that comes to mind is why so many white adopters? Do parents of color not have the education, money, appropriate parenting skills, or interest? To determine someone is not a candidate for parenthood based on their skin color is plainly racist, and it is also wrong to decide a parent is fit or unfit based on their income, education, or religious beliefs alone. Historically, the concept of adoption was unheard of in many cultures around the world. It is common in Turkey and India, for example, for a child without at least one parent to be absorbed by distant relatives. In the Turkish language, there isn't even a word for adoption. It wasn't until white Christian missionaries entered the picture and successfully pushed the idea that children of non-westernized regions needed saving. To some, the assumption that a family doesn't measure up to a Western standard and is therefore needy and incomplete is offensive. There are plenty of Korean adoptees who ended up in families that were financially comfortable with educated parents but still endured abuse, neglect, and beyond deficient parenting. Take my adoptive parents, for example. They were white, or they are white, Christian, educated, and financially comfortable. And these qualities can certainly have their benefits, but this did not ensure that my parents would be capable, loving, or present. My parents had an unstable marriage and problems that weren't addressed before I was even in the picture. It is never okay to take a child from their family of origin and insert them into a second family that is dysfunctional and unstable. At minimum, a child still needs exposure and approximation to their native culture, people, and customs. These are influences that are necessary for a child to develop a healthy, intact identity and personality. Children need to grow up looking into faces that look like their own to feel accepted and understood. This phenomenon is called mirroring. All potential adoptive parents need some education regarding the unique needs and situations that are involved when it comes to adopting an international, interracial child. Equally important is the need for mental and emotional health screening. It would also be good to see that something more than a price tag be required to adopt a child. Adoption should always be about the best interests and well-being of the child. Cultures that don't, for example, have television or electric vehicles or digital devices are not lacking. Children need safety, stability, and affection. It is not okay to take a child from their original family because they don't have God or brand name clothing or perfect white teeth. And it is particularly egregious to take a child from their family due to poverty if the adoptive family needs to fundraise to purchase or support that same child. Everything possible that can be done to keep the original family intact is paramount. If you or someone you know wants to help a child in need, please consider supporting the original family with money and/or needed supplies and goods. Sponsor a family so they can stay together. Educate others on how this should be the priority and make absolute sure the child you want to adopt is an actual orphan with no other available family options. There are too many instances where another country suffers a terrible event, such as war or a natural disaster. Oddly, white Americans are particularly quick to swoop in on any children who may have been separated from their families and define them as orphans according to their own criteria, so the children will then be available for purchase. This is predatory, misleadingly altruistic behavior that commodifies children. Imagine that a huge earthquake impacts the United States. Amidst the chaos, destruction, and loss of life, what if people from other countries wanted to adopt your child as a means of helping? What if others were allowed to take and keep your child just because you couldn't be located right away? These scenarios have happened for decades to children in other countries and still happens today. Don't think your skin color entitles you to someone else's child or empowers you with the knowledge to know what is best for someone else whose skin color is different than your own. Different doesn't mean bad or inferior. We all have equal value as human beings. Thank you for listening.